Hello, you sassy people out there. Oh my god, it's story time Sunday and I didn't put it on
I was just gonna say, no one's gonna know what it is, judging by how you're starting
Okay,
it.
cut that out. Start it now.
Story time? No, you've ruined it. Ruined it.
Sorry, I ruined story time Sunday. We might as well just stop the
Just
video now.
throw the camera out the window and yourself right after.
No.
Wow. Not gonna show everyone you're drinking Tim Hortons?
Earl Grey tea.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Whoa.
everybody. Whoa, Speed Racer. It is a Thanksgiving weekend, and I thought I'd share a little Thanksgiving story with you guys.
Even though it wasn't Thanksgiving. Well, it was around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So.
Huh?
I guess.
Be quiet. Oh, that was rude. So, I'm going to tell the story of the time I was impressing Mrs. Sass with my Herculean strength and tore my tendon. I went to the hospital. It's a long story.
So you know Mr. Sass. You know he likes to joke 99.99999% of his life. So we're out in our back field yard thing.
Field yard.
And Duke loves big tree branches. Like, he won't go for like a small stick. If he sees it, he's like, oh,
He doesn't even care.
this is for wimps. This is stupid. So he won't play with it. But then if you find him like a huge tree branch, like last year in like Mississauga, Brampton, GTA area, there was an ice storm and like a bunch of tree branches fell off of trees. Bike life. And yeah, so a bunch of trees fell, so he was like in his glory. So then this wasn't even that time, but he was happy at that time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he found a big log out in the back, and James was like, I'm gonna see how far I can throw it.
Okay, but I've thrown this thing like 100 times at this point. But I did the dumbest thing. I threw it like this. So I whipped it like this. That's a really weird angle. I hope you can tell. Basically, I swung my arm like a catapult. And at the end of the throw, I felt and I was like, oh, fuck. And I looked at my bicep, the muscle, and it was pulling into my shoulder. And I was like, oh my God, no. And of course, I tell Miss Sass, oh, I think I just hurt myself.
And I'm like, okay, whatever you say. And he's like, no, really. And he's holding his arm, and he's like, no, really. And I'm like, okay. He's like, no, really. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's really hurting. And I'm like, what the hell did you do? So it was so bad. It was like the third game of the season for my hockey team. I ended up missing that night. I went out and watched. But we go to the doctor, and he says, well, you know, you still have full range of motion. Maybe you just, like, pulled something. So they were saying if your tendon, like, snapped or came off,
Ripped,
whatever,
or you tore it,
you wouldn't
anything.
be able to go like this with your hand. You would feel pain. It wouldn't be so smooth like that. But he was doing it no problem. He's like, no, it's fine.
So I go get the x-ray or ultrasound, whatever I got. And they say there's nothing to see. There's no damage. Your arm, there's like, I think they said the bicep is whatever. But they basically insulted my bicep, which is a great bicep. It's very muscular. But, so that was just the walk-in. And the next day, my whole arm from here and all the way down was bruised. It was messed up. And I was like, I knew it. I knew I did something bad to my arm.
So we told James's mom, and James's mom, like, you need to go get a second opinion. I really think you did something. Go talk to our doctor. And he was like, okay, we're gonna do that. So we go to his doctor.
And right away, he looks at my arm. He's like, yep, distal bicep tendon tear. You need to go to surgery this weekend. Like that. He's like, you need to go get it done. Because if it was like that for 2 weeks and it started to heal, I could lose up to 60% strength in my arm. And that would really, really suck. But he diagnosed it right away. So
The following week, I think.
it was like that weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he got me in there right away. And that's just during the time I was in my interviews with the Toronto Police, and like everything was going really
He's
well,
like,
right?
oh no.
Oh.
And then he got his referral to the surgeon, and the surgeon was like, okay,
In 600 meters, turn left onto
they took,
Gladstone
what,
Drive.
an x-ray? No, they did something. Or they were just like, no, we're just gonna do the surgery. I don't know, whatever they said to him.
And so basically they gave me the option, do you want to do it because you still have full range of motion?
it's your choice, basically. I said I want to do the surgery. I want to make sure I'm as strong as I can be, right?
Well, at first he was like, I don't know, should I do it? Should I get the surgery or should I just go for the police? He's like, but what if I go for the police and like I'm not as strong, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, honestly, I think you should do it. I think if it's going to help you in the long run and you're not going to lose as much strength in your arm, because I said you still won't be 100% after the surgery, but at least you'll be better than if you just let it heal the way it is. So,
I hope you didn't see me pick my nose. So, yeah, so I ended up going for the surgery, and Mrs. Sass was like really upset that day because she was at school at the
I'd
time.
only been in school for a month.
So she gets in, and she's not having a good time as I'm getting ready to go. So
I wanted to be there so bad, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't miss school, like I'm gonna have to make up hours, but I'm like, he's going for surgery.
my first ever.
Like, he's going under. Oh my god, I was like, I need to be there. Like, what if something happens and I'm not there? Like, I know it's not a
These people, pay
major,
attention. Look, you just missed the advance.
it's not a major surgery, but I still really wanted to be there, of course, to be there for him.
So, we're there, we're sitting around waiting, and finally, I get to go, and they're doing all my measurements, they're sticking needles in me, doing all that funny stuff.
And his mom is with me, and we're just kind of chilling there. Oh yeah, so I was like at my school getting ready to go in because he was dropping me off, and I started bawling my eyes out. I was like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to go, I want to stay with you, I want to stay with you, I don't want to go. And he's like, just go talk to your director and be like, hey, like, my boyfriend's going for surgery, I'm not coming to school today. So I go in and I'm like crying, and I think about it now, like,
Somerset Drive.
I easily could have just not shown up and nothing, there would have been no issue.
Right.
But she was fine with it. She's like, yeah, of course, you know, go.
They understood.
Yeah, she's like, no problem. And I'm like, okay. I felt so much better. I go outside, I'm like, hey, let's go. So then we're waiting, he gets in,
Turn right onto Fanshawe
his
Drive.
mom and I are waiting, and they're like, okay, it should only be like maybe, what, a 2-hour surgery, they said?
Something like that.
Or an hour and a half to 2-hour surgery, so we're like, okay, no problem. His mom and I went for a walk around Toronto while we were waiting for him, and I don't think we got coffee. No, I don't think so.
300 meters,
Yeah, we
turn
got
right
Tim's
onto
actually.
Thatcher Court.
So then we go back and we're sitting waiting, and so eventually 4 hours passes, and we're like, what the hell is going on? And like the hospital is so dead, and we're just like, what is going on? Where is he? Is he okay? Did something happen? And like, no one's coming to tell us anything. So then finally, one of the doctors that I seen at his consultation for his surgery passes by, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and he's like, oh, you're the girlfriend. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, so yeah, everything was okay. He's like, he actually woke up during surgery, so we had to, you know, take him for x-rays and make sure that nothing moved in his arm that we just fixed. And I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? He's like, yeah. Like, if I never would have seen this guy, I feel like I'd still be sitting there wondering, where's James?
So, yeah, I wake up out of the surgery, and I wake up in this room, and I'm like looking around, like, what the hell? And then someone comes up, they're like, oh, hey. No, what did they say? I can't remember. They came and greeted me. They're like, yeah, you woke up like a wild man. I was like, ha, liar. Because it's just so unlike me. And he's like, no, really. And then we had to hold you down. And I was like, oh my god, what? So I don't know what happened there. But now I wonder, am I going to get like PTSD? I'm going to like wake up one day and remember my surgery where they're holding me down and bleeding everywhere.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so my arm is still not 100%. You know, it's stronger. But the pain is still really bad sometimes. Like, you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen it in some of our vlogs. My big scar there. My doctor does not like that scar. It's just...
It's so big. Like, it was just a sliver at first, like just a line. And when I touch it, he can't feel it.
Yeah.
But it was so small, and now it's like my finger size.
Yep.
It's like I took my finger and...
Rude. So yeah, don't mess with sticks. You'll get hurt.
Don't show off for your significant other.
That's right.
That's the moral of the story.
And then, to top it all off, after surgery, I felt fine. Like, I didn't feel sick or anything like that. But my mom likes to drive really erratically, and she drives like this. Brake, gas, brake, gas, brake, gas, brake, gas. And I'm sitting in the back, and I'm like, oh my god, Mom, Easy. Easy. And I'm starting to feel sick. Just sitting in the back of cars, that makes me feel kind of woozy. I don't like it. And she's like, oh, it's just the medication you're on. Blah, blah, blah. No, Mom. It was you. But yeah, have you ever had surgery or anything like that? Do you have any crazy stories? Did you wake up during it? I don't know why I always wait for a response. I'm not getting a response.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was a crazy experience. I can't believe it even happened. That whole police thing didn't work out. It's another story.
Another story time Sunday.
That's just an angry time Sunday. If you have a story similar to this, or even just a story you want to share, go ahead and share it in the comments, or even make a video. We'll watch it. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Thanksgiving.
Goodbye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
God, what are you thankful for?
You and our baby.
And I'm thankful for you.
And our family.
And you're my family. And my beautiful Mrs. Sass and my beautiful baby girl,
Thanks.
Haylee. And all you guys for watching all of our silly stuff.
Bye.
See ya.